OutFront now, Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. He is a member of the Judiciary Committee. And Senator, I appreciate your time. So, I don't know if you could see the video there, but the Trump aide coming in under his arm with the poster, Miami 2028 or whatever it said for the G20. And Trump wants to host the G20 at the Doral in Florida. That's, of course, his golf club. Is that okay?
Well, Trump's inability to steer away from self-dealing for himself and his family and his business interests as president creates all kinds of risks of corruption. And those risks are worsened when you're dealing with international relations, when you're dealing with opportunities for foreign governments and foreign officials to curry favor or even flat out buy favor in the way that they do business with Trump personal and business interests. So yeah, it's a real concern. It's a continuing concern.
I'm curious, do you think, the Emoluments clause, right, existed for a reason, but yep. it appears whatever, you talk about the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, and the spirit of the law is constantly being trounced, right? That's the reality. So does it mean anything anymore? Is this something that anybody will ever respect, any future president will ever respect, or is self-dealing now just the norm?
Well, clearly, self-dealing is the norm for Trump. And the question in the Emoluments Clause, we've litigated that in the past, and the court has not been very helpful to the litigants. So, this goes back to the earliest days of the Republic when a piece of jewelry, I think it was a jeweled box, was given to one of the founders, and that kicked all this off. I can assure you that whatever the little box was that was given to one of the founders was a trifle compared to the massive financial favors that are being poured into Trump business interests by foreign governments and foreign influencers.
Well, thank you I did not know that about the little jeweled box. I'm sure some watching didn't as well, so you learn something new every day. I want to ask you also, and I had indicated this coming into the commercial break, but Senate Democrats have sent that letter to Trump's DOJ, and in it, basically, they're invoking a 100-year federal law that is not well known, and they're doing it to try to request the full and complete Epstein files, right? Not just these grand jury transcripts as the Trump administration currently is requesting. This asks for everything, all records, documents, audio, video, all of it related to Epstein and his clients. And here's what your colleague, Senator Schumer, said today about it.
It's not a stunt. It's not symbolic. It's a formal exercise of congressional power under federal law.
Source tells CNN, Senator, the DOJ isn't expected to comply. So do you think that this is more than symbolic, that this is a real path to get the Epstein files?
Well, there are two Senate Democrat efforts that are going on right now. One is from the Finance Committee, where Senator Wyden has identified 1,000 or more suspicious activity reports of financial transactions involving Epstein, and noted that the reason that they are prompted as suspicious activity reports is so that they can be properly investigated to determine money laundering or other criminal activity. And the Department of Justice under Trump and under Attorney General Bondi has done nothing. So he's put them on the spot to deliver those investigations or produce the suspicious activity report information for our committees to look at. On the other side, on the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, they have a special law that allows any 5 members to put a letter out and obliges by law federal agencies to respond to document requests when they come through that mechanism. So Gary Peters, the ranking member on that committee, has organized that. And I think a certain amount depends on what the response is from the Department of Justice. I would not rule out the possibility that if they get completely stonewalled, that a Republican on the committee might not join to make it a proper subpoena.
Right, which would, of course, be very significant. And I know some of your Republican colleagues do feel passionately that this information should be released. You're also urging the DOJ to publicly commit that Ghislaine Maxwell will not be pardoned. Senator, I know there are Republicans who agree with you on this, but Trump, when he responded to a question about this, does not say he won't partner. He just focuses on the fact that he's allowed to do it and doesn't take it further than that. And there are many Republicans who seem to be deferring to him on this. Here are a few.
Well, I mean, obviously that's a decision of the president.
That's up to him.
I don't know enough about Maxwell or the conversation to even weigh in on that.
Of course, she's serving a 20-year sentence for sexually abusing and enabling Jeffrey Epstein to sexually abuse underage girls. Are you concerned that by the equivocation in some of those responses?
Yes, I mean, obviously my Republican colleagues are very frightened of Trump and his political operation that surrounds him, which is very threatening and intimidating in its relations with Republican senators. So I don't think anybody wants to cross him unnecessarily. But at the same time, there are a lot of victims in all of this. And if Ms. Maxwell gets a pardon, and then it turns out that we start to get this information, it's out there. Ultimately, this information will come out. It's going to be really, really damaging to Trump and Republicans who went along with any consideration of a pardon, particularly before this information is out there. I'd add that everything about the Deputy Attorney General of the United States flying down to Tallahassee, Florida, to personally do a witness interview with an incarcerated subject is completely inexplicable under any of the normal operations of the Department of Justice. It's a weird, weird situation, and it makes it look like he's there not on behalf of the United States government or the Department of Justice, but back in his role as Donald Trump's criminal attorney.
All right. Well, Senator, I really appreciate your time. And by the way, I want to emphasize you are a former U.S. attorney. So when you talk about something being really weird, you're saying it from experience, from actually being on the law enforcement side. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your time, Senator.
Thank you.